Hi friends, welcome back. I'm Tara T with Old Soul Factory and welcome back to this week's video. Have you ever looked at your yarn room and been like, we need some serious TLC in here. We need some revitalization. We need some motivation to get it all done, get it all organized. That's what this week's video is. I have decided that I've had enough with how messy my yarn room is and I want to clean it. So that's what we're going to be doing basically this week. I have a checklist. Let me grab it. Okay, I'm going to put my checklist up here on the screen as well as we're going through it. But we have a lot of stuff that I want to get done this week's video. Just a lot of cleaning, organizing, getting back to normal. I feel like it's just a lot and it's step by step. And checklists are what really helps me because I have a tinge of ADHD, and so I just want to be more mindful of that going forward and try to be the most productive version of myself as possible. So the first thing that I would like to get done in this video is a quick office reset. I'm not talking a full deep clean all in one check mark, but I am talking like at least go ahead and skim through everything. The next thing on my checklist that I would like to get done is WIPS versus frogs. This basket, this tote right here in particular, it's full of WIPs and yarn that goes with each WIP. I'm not a very big WIP person. I promise I don't usually have a lot of WIPs going on at once, but there's a lot of yarns that go with the WIP projects in here. So I just want to go through there and see if there's any that I can either get rid of or knock out pretty quickly and leave together in that bag. So the next thing I have is sort yarn. Like I said at the beginning, I want to do a quick office reset. So I'm going to kind of group together yarns where they should be, but I want to reorganize some of them. This shelf was originally empty when I got it, and now it's just become an accumulation spot, which I am not particularly fond of. I definitely have a scrap basket over here that is begging for help, so that needs to be tended to as well. So I just want to get all of the yarn back where it's actually supposed to be, so I feel a little bit more motivated to actually get yarn off the shelves and not overwhelmed by the yarn that's already out. The next thing on my list is probably one of the most important, of course, but I also want to relax and crochet in this video. I would like to kind of chill and maybe work on some of the WIPs that we find, kind of get inspiration from those and get those off of our mind a little bit. I feel like if you're anything like me, I somehow start these projects and then they get put off to the side and they just kind of weigh on me the longer that I have them around. So just going through the WIPs and the frogs versus getting some of these WIPs actually finished by the end of this video would be quite nice. So it's kind of like a frogger finish, but there's also a lot of other steps in between. And the last thing on my list is to try to stay on task. Like I said, I have a tinge of the ADHD and I have a tendency to go off the rails a little bit, not stay on task. So we're going to do some ADHD checkpoints in this video as well. Hopefully that'll help you stay focused and motivated on whatever you might be working on or whatever you're doing while you're watching this video as well. So I will be going over that as well in this video. So again, the first thing that we need to do on our list is a quick office reset. I have stuff on my desk over here that doesn't belong in here. I have stuff on my main desk, my side desk, and stuff over here that's accumulated. Like, why is my cardigan in my craft room right now? It should be in the laundry or on a hanger in the closet. So I have a lot of little things I want to get done. We'll mostly time lapse through those because that's the most boring of this video, I feel like. But it will be nice to, to see the progress that we've made. And if you've never done this, I highly recommend it, even if you don't have a YouTube video or YouTube channel. But definitely film yourself or at least time yourself while you're cleaning. That has helped me tremendously staying on task, especially for the video, which is why I tend to end up filming a lot of my cleaning stuff, I feel like, because it pushes me through it to get it done. Okay, enough said. I feel like we need to do a little transition. I've talked enough at the beginning of this video, so let's just move the camera real quick. Let's just have Editing Tara do a little transition, I guess. I feel like the lighting is crap, but we have moved camera angles so you can at least see better what I'm freaking dealing with, okay? As I mentioned, I have a tinge of the ADHD, and it's kind of become a mess in here. So I'm going to time-lapse through a lot of this, but I want to get it all cleaned up and at least kind of somewhat sorted, and then we can hyper-focus on each little section that we end up putting together, essentially. So let's just get to it. sorry, you're gonna see the lighting change a lot in this video to give you hopefully better lighting. Let's just try that. I feel like no matter what I do, the lighting's probably poop compared to me sitting directly in front of that window. So I want to give you guys different angles this time. I want you to see more of me this time, you know? Okay, friends, we have done the basic cleaning. Okay, the desk itself is clean, and the side table is mostly clean, just has organized piles now on it. The next thing to do is whips and frogs. Okay, the next thing on our list is whips and frogs. Hopefully, you guys are okay with that. Again, I'm gonna probably sit on the floor and go through this giant pile. And I also know that I have a whole bunch of things that need to be tagged, and I realized that after I made my checklist, and so we might have to like add that in there as like 3.5, 4.5 on the list. And we'll just add it in there, you know, and we'll get that done eventually because I don't move things out of this room until they are tagged. So they need to be tagged and they need to be moved upstairs because we still have quite a few months until the next market. Actually, 2.5. Okay, let's lock in. Let's lock in. Oh my goodness, this is a lot. Let's get you down to my level. Hopefully that is all right. Again, I'm using my new mic again this week. I want to give it a fair shot. And I knew I'd be moving around a lot for this video, so it's kind of nice to know that no matter how far away, my audio will at least be the same to edit. So that being said, this crap needs to be sorted. I'm going to make a bag full of to finishes made for sunny days. That means we're being optimistic about finishing them at least. And this bag is going to be all of the other crap. I'm not saying we're going to finish all of these whips either in this video because I know that there is a lot of whips in this bag. Not a lot for some people, but a lot for me. It's already halfway through my crochet week, so we gotta lock in. This is a fun idea that I had. I wanted to make some sort of kitten charm of some kind, and so I made the front of it. All I literally need to do is make the back, stuff it, and sew them together. So I want to finish this, so it's gonna go in my finish pile. So that's number one. Maybe I'll put a counter on the screen. Whips and frogs counter. That's a good idea. See if editing Tara can figure that out. Up next, we have a little mini duck, a little sprout duck, if you will. I made one of these, I think, for the last video. I think I talked about it. And I had started one. Oh, wait, no, I didn't talk about it because the other one's right here. Perfect. So I'm going to put these both in the finish pile because I know that this won't take long to get done. This one's literally done, just needs a sprout and the little embroidery. This is basically done. I literally did one of the feet and then probably stopped to go to bed. So it even comes with the crochet hook already. Would you look at that? So I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to put it in the finished bag. This one I don't want to show you completely. It's something I'm really excited about, but it's still a whip for now, but it's going to get finished. I promise. You just might not see it finished for a while longer, so I don't want to show you too much of it. Oh, nice. A whole skein of white. Why are you in here? This, I was going to make a little sitting duck pattern with little chain out feet, and then you work up so its little feet stick out. For now, I don't have the mental capacity to even comprehend where I would have written this pattern down at this point. So I'm going to take the stitch marker out and I'm going to frog it. Up next is not necessarily a mostly finished whip, but I obviously know what this is going to be. This is going to be one of my Tice the Turtles. Don't know which one yet. This will come in handy because I've been writing a bunch of new ones though lately, and so having the heads already finished is like half the battle, which is why I made a pattern in the first place where you don't have to prep the bits. So at least having a head prepped is kind of nice. I have a feeling that there will be multiple of these in this bag, so I'm going to put it in the whips bag because I will eventually finish it and use it. This one I was really excited about, and I showed you guys a while ago. The thing is I've never made the tapestry wearable thing like this before. This was 100% new to me. It's turning out super duper freaking cool though, but I did not realize how time consuming for some reason that this would be, especially for a crocheter, amigurumi, small project mindset. So I had this on my desk originally to just work on whenever I have the chance. It has now turned into my absolute doom because I'm not hyper fixated on it anymore. And I also realized that this is not how you should do the back if it's going to be a wearable. So I'm going to put it in the whips pile because I do want to finish it. I'm not going to rip out all of this hard work. I do want to finish it, but it will take a lot of thinking on how to finish it. I might just turn it into more of a tapestry instead, to hang up on our wall together, or I might felt the back and make a really simple granny stitch front that goes on it, so it's actually wearable, but It's going to go in the WIPS bag for now, but it will not be finished in this video. Again, I told you there's probably going to be lots of these, so that's 2 more WIPs. I've already lost count. That's editing Terry can fix that. Oh, another turtle whip, which you look at that. Can you tell that I like to make turtles? Don't get me wrong. I like to make new turtles though. That's why I really like making new patterns and stuff, because it's super fun and I get to make just enough to make the pattern and release the pattern, and then I half the time forget that I have these patterns of my own. So we have another turtle whip. Prize. I'm not sure what this was going to be. It was probably going to be a turtle if I had to guess in Sweet Snuggles Light. I recently destashed a bunch of my Sweet Snuggles Light, so it's going to go in the frog pile, even though you can't really frog Sweet Snuggles Light very well, but it's going to go over there so that I can just get rid of it somehow. And then these little whips are just tiny little turtle heads for my $5 turtle pattern that I like to make, so I'm going to put those in the whip pile, except I'm going to put them on my desk because they're going to get lost in this big bag. I'm not sure why this is in here. We're gonna deal with that later. Same thing for this. I made a granny stitch pullover out of this yarn and then I just threw it in here. So we're gonna find a better place for those. There's a lot of yarns that are just need to be wound, it looks like. Like these both probably need to be wound because you can't really mess with them like this. So I'm just gonna make a pile for that. This project I was super excited about. I have an emotional support weighted cow that I got in Texas, and his name is Tex for Texas. And I was trying to recreate him in crochet for a video, and lo and behold, I got to this point and was really excited about it. And then I just held it up to the original and I thought it didn't look the same and it wasn't gonna have the same vibe, and then I got kind of sad about it. So then it sat in this bin for a while. So I'd like to at least finish it. I'm pretty sure the legs are even in here. I have his little legs and everything. So I should at least finish it so that I can sell him, but I definitely won't be finishing writing the pattern or anything like that. Where is his other leg? I'll put him off to the side for now. I'll find his other leg later. This is a really old turtle that I made. I have a blue one sitting over here as well. I'm going to donate them because I don't feel like selling them anymore. They're just not up to my standards. They have a couple yarn strings hanging out even. So I might even just, I'm going to put them in the frog thing. I'm going to try to frog them first because honestly I don't feel comfortable selling them. But I'm done with them. I don't want to see them again. Surprise! Another turtle whip, I should say. This is another hibiscus turtle pattern of mine. I shall finish him. This was going to be very cute. It was going to be a little mini bunny. I don't know. It was a tiny little bunny pattern I got, and I thought it'd be nice to use this little yarn on it. So it was irrigated, but it was still mini and it was still cute. But I no longer have any interest in ever trying to do that again. So I am quite literally going to frog it. I was trying to make a dog pattern. The head turned out okay. It was going to be a little dachshund pattern. I liked the head, but I decided that I wanted to move in a different direction, so it's going to go in the frog. Ooh, some of these are old. 3 more turtle heads. I always make a few of them at a time, and then I'm like, oh, I'll use them eventually, and then I kind of lose them apparently because I've wondered where some of these colors have been. Another flower shell. I'm gonna put that there. I'm pretty sure I ran out of yarn. Actually, I did run out of yarn. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna frog this one. I'm gonna frog it because I know that I'm out of yarn and I won't finish it because it won't match. This was a cat pattern I was working on quite a while ago. Again, this is what usually ends up in my frogging bin slash whip bin because I don't come back to things like this. But if I download a pattern, I usually finish it because most of these were things that I just started on my own accord mostly. But this little guy, he's not really little, he's actually really big. I just made him in Big Twist and then realized he was going to be way too big for what I needed. Might turn him into something, but at this point he's been sitting around here for a while now, and I kind of want to frog him and get rid of him and use the yarn for something else. This one's a fun one. Let's get all the pieces to it together. There's a lot of pieces here, but this was going to be a Jen's Crafty Creations little strawberry cow. Not a strawberry cow. It was going to be strawberry themed, but it's her sitting cow pattern that she has. I think it's Camille the cow, if I remember right. I have all of the pieces literally here already made. That's usually the biggest hurdle for me. I just quite literally need to finish the head and sew everything on. So as much as I would love to frog this because I don't necessarily want to do it, I'm going to put it in the finish pile because it's over 50% done. And I know that once I finish it, somebody will love it because the pattern's just too good. This was a mermaid pattern that I started and ended up not liking, and I hated this yarn. This is like Brown burnout yarn, I always have problems with. It always ends up being really rough or incredibly soft, and then you get tricked into thinking the next one will be soft, and guess what? It never is. It's never the same. So this one I'm going to frog because I don't see myself coming back to it. So I was writing my own capybara pattern and I kind of forgot about this one. I'm still excited about this one, surprisingly. But I was writing my own capybara pattern. He was going to be so cute, kind of like a splooter version. And now I'm kind of rethinking maybe the sitting style, but the head would still be the same. And I still have the head. And I love how this head turned out. I just need to find a really good body style to go with this that I haven't seen yet. I made a capybara that was splooting and I liked it, but I feel like there's already some other patterns out there like it. So trying to find a capybara pattern that's in a new style is really hard. So I'm going to keep the head because either I can use it on somebody else's pattern or something and just substitute my own head that I made, or I can go back some point and make the body for it, but I will be using this because just look at how adorable he is, especially those eyes. Go, we found the other leg. Now I feel like I can just put these legs into body, just stuff them in there a little bit, and try to keep them together. Oh, whip basket. We're getting down to the projects that you've probably seen me talk about before, and guess what? Never ever finished them. This is a toothless. It doesn't look like it, but it's going to be. Okay, here's this head for proof. It feels like Bliss toothless. I made a white one before, and it got a lot of attention at least, so I wanted to make a Night Fury version. And so I had started him on like last year's retreat, and then it got too dark for me to keep crocheting, and my hands hurt from working with that feels like bliss yarn and such a small hook size, so I moved on from that. And then I just kind of forgot about it. So that's going to be finished at some point. I still have people ask about this one, and it's still not finished. I was making the Druid Kitty by Red Mills Crochet. She is a very so heavy pattern maker usually, but this one's not too bad yet. I quite literally, I think I looked at the pattern multiple times since I stopped doing this, and I just could not bring myself to continue doing it. But I just need to finish the body and sew on the head. That's quite literally, I have all of the pieces, and I started the body and attached the legs and the tail and everything, but it's gonna go in the finished pile because it's gonna be really cute once it's done. But I think I had to get more yellow yarn, and then getting back to it was a little difficult. Little difficult. I don't even know what this is. Frog, a bandana that's almost done. Okay, throw in the WIPS bag. Another Red Mills pattern that I have talked about before and never finished, but it's her little springling moth. So cute. This was going to be a Diddy Dice until I realized after making the legs and stuff, it's going to be really so heavy, and then I could not get behind this pattern. I just couldn't do it. Everybody else was making it. I couldn't do it. I'm not going to finish it. So many of these teeny tiny turtle heads. Too many to count. Okay, I have 3 patterns, projects, whatever you want to call them, left. This one is a fun one. This was a Tice the Turtle made in Sweet Snuggles, so it's going to be really big. And I used some really pretty retro reef eyes from one of my old collections on it. And then I just the skein out the rest of the way, and then I started unwinding it after working on the head, and I was like, I'm not going to have enough to like finish the body in this color with this much yarn. And then I looked at my shelves and I didn't have any more at the time, but since then I've gotten more. So it's gonna go in the WIPS bag. Second to last is this teeny tiny pig. This is Nibbles the Country Mouse by Robin at Knotting Hook Crochet. I started this forever ago and feels like bliss. I really want to finish this. It's gonna be so darling once it's done. It's gonna be way overpriced for how small it is. I know because I used feels like bliss, but I wanted to do something different with that yarn, and so I thought a little mouse would be fun. And then last but not least, I started a bag a long time ago. I barely even remember this. I was working on this on my lunch breaks at like my second to last job, like forever. And I remember starting it, and look, I did the stitches to where I need to start working up the side, it looks like. So it will be crocheting up from this point on, but I can't even remember what the bag looks like now. I know the pattern, I can see it in my head, but I can't remember what it's called. So I'm going to put this in the frog pile for now because the likelihood that I'll actually come back to this is so slim, and I've moved on to other bag patterns and stuff. Okay, friends, all of the WIPs that I currently have, I narrowed it all down to this one bag. And let's be honest, most of them are turtles that need to be finished. So I guess I need to do more of a finish turtle WIPs with me or something because there's so many in that bag that are just legitimately turtles. So There's some other fun things though in that bag that we can go back and finish. I am probably going to stop here for now. I need to go run some errands and do some other things, so I'm going to just quickly put these bags where they need to go, and then I'm going to leave for the afternoon. You may or may not see me again. I don't know. It just depends on my plans. So I may or may not be back for you, but we shall see. Hey, it's me again. It's Tara. Hi. It's been a few days and I don't know what I've been doing. I took last week off from actually editing and uploading. It was my birthday recently and I was like, you know what? I didn't even skip an upload recently. I'm gonna skip an upload. I'm gonna reset. I'm going to rest my hands. And it was needed. And I worked on some things that were more for myself than anybody else. And that was really nice, other than just market prepping. And so I had a grand old time with that. So I've been doing some other things. As you saw, we ended up with a lot of projects to finish, so I plan on doing a full video where I go through that whole bag or make a wheel of some sort that has all the projects on it in the first place. That way I don't even have to decide what to work on, and it'll just tell me what I need to work on, which would also be really nice. So otherwise, we did do a lot. We did get our office reset done. We got all of our WIPS and our frogs sorted. I did end up sorting a lot of the yarn. I know it doesn't look different back here, but I ended up sorting a lot of my cotton yarns again by color and stuff since I had been using them so much recently. And then I have been crocheting. I will show you more of the projects that I've actually been working on in the next video, but it's mostly just small little things for myself, so nothing too crazy or market preppy. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Comment if you liked the audio and editing of this video. I know I've been changing some things up recently. I'm trying to find a better flow of things to get things done in a better fashion too. That way maybe I can start uploading a little bit more frequently. Obviously, we started using the mic again this week. I'm trying to give it a fair shot, and I adjusted a lot of the audio settings for this video compared to normal. So I would also love to know if you guys liked that or not. And if you have any questions for me, just leave them down below, of course. Alrighty, that's all I have for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys being here. And if you need me, you know where to find me. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!